In this episode of Pop Culture Weekly, I talk with NBA superstar and upcoming superstar comedian Blake Griffin and writer, director, producer extraordinaire Zack Snyder. Justin, play that track. Let's go.
You're listening to Pop Culture Weekly with Kyle McMahon, presented by 92.9 Tom FM, an iHeart radio station.
Hello and welcome to Pop Culture Weekly with Kyle McMahon. I, of course, am Kyle McMahon. Thank you so much for listening to episode 62 of Pop Culture Weekly. That's pretty freaking insane. Like, what? 62 episodes is really nuts, honestly. So, in any event, thank you for joining me. It's an all-interview episode this week, because we have two huge interviews. The first interview, I can't believe it, I was granted the first interview with Blake Griffin, NBA superstar, his first interview after becoming a free agent and then signing with the Brooklyn Nets. So I'm honored to talk to him, and we are talking about his brand new prank show called Double Cross with Blake Griffin. It is freaking hysterical. He is a natural comedic talent, which is crazy because he's already a superstar at one thing and now he's amazing at something else. So I love the show, though, and it debuts March 19th on TruTV. You're going to love it, too. Believe me. So I also am talking to superstar director Zack Snyder about his Snydercut of Justice League. So Zack Snyder's Justice League debuts on HBO Max and in some theaters on March 18th. So the theaters will come at a later time, but it'll be streaming on HBO Max come March 18th. So let's just get it started. Let's get right in with Blake Griffin as we talk Double Cross with Blake Griffin.
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. Thank you so much for joining me here on Pop Culture Weekly on iHeartRadio. So there was some huge news over the weekend involving you, and obviously that was that I binged all of Double Cross with Blake Griffin, and it was incredible. What is it like doing this show?
It's a lot of fun, man. I grew up, obviously doing a lot of pranks as a kid, but then grew up watching, prank shows, and to be able to sort of take a prank show and twist it a little bit and have some fun with it that way is a lot of fun. Immediately when the idea was presented to me, I thought it'd be a lot of fun, and it turned out great. I'm excited for people to see it.
So Double Cross with Blake Griffin it's kind of, it puts a spin on like some of the classic prankster sort of shows, right? And I love that aspect of it, that it double, you're literally double crossing. Some of these people, and the show is incredible, some of these people are like, I can't believe their reactions. Were you as surprised as like I was as a viewer?
Yeah, absolutely. I was, there was some, you're a little worried about how somebody's going to react, but everybody was so great. And our team did such a great job with these pranks. And I feel like you find yourself like rooting for the people that are doing the pranks, because it's kind of like you're taking somebody who's always gets pranked and you're letting them get revenge. So you kind of root for that person at the same time, and you don't necessarily feel as bad for the person being pranked. So, every situation obviously is different. Every person, all the people that we used were different, but it was a lot of fun seeing everybody's reactions. And then, some of them I was able to pop out, in time and sort of be a part of the reveal. And that was hilarious. It was fun.
So, I don't know much about basketball. All my boys are, we're college players and all huge fans. And one thing that I was really surprised at about, as I watched the show is how funny you are. You don't think, you're tall. So I wasn't expecting you to be so funny.
And tall people can't be funny.
No, I heard that you get a lot that people say athletes can't be funny or whatever, which seems insane. But you are a really, really funny guy, and I love, like, it's kind of like deadpan. Is that in general, like, your kind of personal, how you are, like, you enjoy deadpan comedy?
Yeah, I think I just sort of have a dry sense of humor a little bit. So a lot of times people tell me they can't tell if I'm joking or not. So that's a problem that arises in my life a lot. But
Like
yeah,
you,
I've just
like you just
yeah, exactly, exactly. Um,
ruined my
so
joke there, Blake.
yeah, sorry. Um, yeah, so that's just kind of like my style a little bit, and they let me play with that and be comfortable with that, and we kind of mixed it up with the intros and brought the people in and kind of set up the show and was able to sort of do some of that, but then let the pranks take on the show for themselves, and carry that. So for me, it was a lot of fun to film, and be a part of and create.
So I got to say, the 4 episodes I binged in one afternoon. I would love to see more. Is that something you'd think about?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. If that's what the people want, and if that's where it goes, I'd be happy to continue this. Like I said, it was a lot of fun to film these and come up with everything and be a part of it. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully, people like it enough.
I don't think that's going to be a problem. I mean, it really, I was literally cracking up as I'm watching it, like in tears at some points, just because, one, some of the situations, two, your delivery, and then three, their reactions are like insane. I was dying. I was literally dying.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. We had some great people. The casting department did a great job of picking our pranksters and our prankies. So I was super thrilled with how it came out.
And did you shoot more scenarios than were aired? Like, were there any that you shot that you were like, you know what, this didn't turn out the way we wanted?
Honestly, we got very lucky. There were some where we shot them, a couple times. Not the same people.
Yeah, yeah.
Prank
the scenarios.
Honestly, they all came out great. It was just about picking the best one. Again, I feel like I keep saying this, but I felt like we were so lucky with the reactions and how good the people were, and some of them were super charismatic and really hyped it up and built the momentum and it turned out well.
One of my favorites, and it was hard to pick, and no spoilers, but the whole looking at the house, the realtor, that I think is probably my favorite. I was literally in tears watching this. It was nuts.
That was one of my favorites as well, and there was a lot of like behind the scenes going on in that one, and it was really cool to watch from like the control room and from the video board, seeing everything go down.
And so that was actually my next question was, what, is there ever a time that you're starting to get nervous or whatever and you want to intervene, but you're like, all right, Blake, like, let this continue playing out or anything like that?
Yeah, definitely definitely a little nervous. Not like something crazy is going to happen.
Yeah.
But just like you feel kind of like a little bit awkward at times. And so like there was definitely that feeling, but for the most part, we tried to like really hold and sit in it and wait for it to, really land before we did any reveal. And it worked out that way.
So, one of the other things that I noticed, just because I'm a weirdo, is your fashion in the show. Are you working with a stylist, or is that like your style in general?
That's my style in general. Yeah, that's just kind of how I dress.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure, and I'm like every next sequence or whatever, I'm like, oh, that's tight. Oh, that's dope. You know what I mean? So
I brought. It's kind of hard to like get clothes for a shoot or something like this. So I always bring like all my clothes. So It's really just that.
And so you're kind of like, I think it's called the pranktologist. How does that feel like, going from a much different career, and pivoting to something like this that seems like it's another outlet for you, but it's so much different, I would think. I mean, I'm not an NBA player.
Yeah, it's a little bit different than basketball, a tiny bit. But it's fun, man. It's just fun to use that side of that creative side and get to sort of put together things like this and be a part of like this amazing crew. And it's just something we shot in the summer in the off season and didn't take very long at all. We sort of streamlined this whole process and it was a lot of fun.
I love that. And you've been so successful in so many things. What does success mean to Blake?
Success is just finding something you love and continuing that journey. It can be a lot of different things. It can, success can mean, a lot of different things to different people. But to me, it's just a worthy, a worthy cause or a worthy goal, and being able to realize that, being able to live it out, and being able to expand on it and continue to grow.
Awesome. I absolutely love that. And what can we expect, in the future, aside from basketball, obviously, but, can we expect more productions like this? Obviously, you said, there's a chance that we could see more of this, which I'm looking forward to. What are you thinking?
Yeah, we have some stuff in the works, but for right now, obviously basketball is my main focus. And with this coming out, I'm super excited to see people's reactions and hopefully we get to do more of them.
Are you nervous at all about? I mean, you've done other work like this in the past, but this is kind of your baby in a way. Are you nervous at all about the reaction or putting it out in the world?
Honestly, man, when every time I've done something, if I enjoyed the process and I enjoy the final result, it takes some of those nerves away. I mean, obviously you want people to like the things that you do. I think that's just human nature, but I really enjoy, like I said, the process and the final product. So that it sort of takes that pressure off when it was such a great experience and you're happy with it. If people don't like it, then like at the end of the day, they don't like it. But I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I love that outlook, because no matter what the reaction to it is, and in my opinion, it's going to be awesome. I mean, I love it. But no matter what the reaction is to any project any of us are doing, if we, enjoyed the process, learned from it, anything like that, I mean, it was worth it in the end anyway.
Absolutely. That's sort of the mindset I've had for a while now, and I think it comes with age and it comes with experience, but that's where I'm at. And so, like I said, I hope people like it, but I enjoyed it. I had a blast. Our crew was amazing. Everybody from top to bottom really had to come together because these are sort of time sensitive and a lot of moving parts and things have to happen correctly, and they knocked it out of the park.
And that was another thing I was going to ask is, it seems like a lot of logistics to be like, okay, this person is doing this right now, go, or whatever. How is that? Isn't like your mind blown? I was like trying to think of it behind the scenes wise, and I'm like, I couldn't figure that out.
Yeah, and beyond just that, it's the planning, right? Like you have to plan for all these different things. And so when the people are in place and ready, it's a little bit, you can sort of make up for a mistake here or there. But the planning is so important, and our guys did such a good job of making sure we had every like angle covered for coverage of everything, but then also being ready for different scenarios and then being quick on the fly and our actors were all unbelievable. They did a great job of listening to commands, but while also engaging with the people and getting them to do the right things, getting them in the right spots. I mean, their job was so hard. And they killed it.
Awesome. And nobody, none of our guests leave our show without getting something. So first of all, you see the Blake Funko Pop here.
Oh yes, I see it.
Yeah. So Funko, they're so awesome. They sent us. I heard that you're a big fan of Will Ferrell. Who, I mean, how can you not? He's a legend. So Funko was kind enough to send us, just for you, some very rare Will Ferrell Funko Pops. We have Ron Burgundy and Brian Fantana. Kurt, and this one's actually scented, Brian is. So, yeah, so these are for you. We'll get them to you. But you know, we wanted to help you, you know, have a little token of one of your fandoms, Will Ferrell and awesome comedy. So
Absolutely. I appreciate it. That's awesome. I got a spot for those.
Oh, awesome, man. Yeah, so we'll get that, and we have a 302. We have some T-shirts and stuff for you, 302 Beaches. We'll get that out to you. Blake Griffin, thank you so much for talking to me on Pop Culture Weekly on iHeartRadio. Man, this show, Double Cross with Blake Griffin, is so awesome. I'm so hyped for everybody to see it. Out in March 19th on TruTV. Isn't he awesome? Such a good guy. He's so talented. He's got such a big heart. He's an excellent basketball player, obviously, you know, one of the greatest. And he's so funny. So he's not just amazing at basketball. He's just an amazing guy overall. So I love Blake, love Double Cross with Blake Griffin, and you will too. So next up is superstar writer, director, producer Zack Snyder. So, of course, if for some reason you don't know, so Zack did, Man of Steel. I mean, he's done 300 and Watchmen. He has a huge career, but he had done Justice League, and tragically, in the middle of Justice League, his daughter committed suicide, and he had to stop it, which is completely understandable. And so Joss Whedon, Warner Brothers brought Joss Whedon in to, complete the film. And so it's kind of a mishmash of two different directors' visions, and what they both wanted to accomplish mushed into one. So it was a mess. The fans demanded the Snyder Cut, Zack's, version of Justice League, what it was supposed to be. And so after, a year and a half, 2 years of fans demanding this Snyder Cut, I'm talking about campaigns and getting the talent involved and just a huge demand for the Snyder Cut, Warner Brothers said, you know what? We're going to give him the money to do it and do it his way like he originally envisioned it. So we now have the Snyder Cut, Zack Snyder's Justice League. And that debuts March 18th on HBO Max, and it'll be out in theaters eventually in some special screenings and that sort of thing. So here is my interview with the one and only Zack Snyder. Hello, Zack, and thank you for speaking with me. I really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. Are you kidding me?
So I've got to, first of all, congratulate you on besides your entire career, but in particular, Justice League. I just watched it, and it's absolutely incredible. I really, really do. I love it, and I think that this is, at least for me as a fan, the definitive version of the film.
Oh, great! That's all I could hope for.
So with the film, obviously, there was some changes with production. You kind of essentially created the DCEU, and then Justice League, I would think, as a creator, as an artist, may have been, kind of the centerpiece of this world that you were building. Is that accurate to say?
Yeah, certainly that's how it was. When I originally started the work, that's how it was intended to sort of evolve. Man of Steel, BVS, all of these were like on a journey to get us to Justice League, which would have been the King Daddy, and which is. Yeah,
absolutely. Now, and so was that difficult for you to see, something that you've worked on for years kind of have to go out of your hands?
Yeah, I mean, what I'll say is that, we were it was a difficult time for myself and my family.
And I'm so sorry for your loss.
Look, I appreciate that, and thank you. But, the movie really, it was a time of exploration for us. Like, what does it mean? Like, is this like what's important? What are we doing? And I think that sort of journey, that sort of the time we spent kind of talking about it and being with the family, I think was a really important time. And in the end, we've all the catharsis of that time and of this journey has really kind of been a great comfort to us all.
Did you, in the process of getting the chance to, revisit this, which I'm sure has to be, the only example I could think of is like the Richard Donner sort of thing. But the fans demanded this. I mean, really, I don't think there's any other way to put it than demanded this. Were you expecting such like a visceral reaction from so many people?
No, I was pretty sure that we were just going to move on and make another movie, and that would be, and Justice League would be what it is, and that would be that. I didn't think there would be this kind of, putting their foot down and going like, no, we don't accept this. This is not how it's going to be. We want our Justice League movie the way we were promised. And I think what happens in the other movies, Justice League and Batman vs Superman, really, I made a promise to the fans that is how their world would continue, and I think that they were just, frankly, they wanted that realized, and I thank them for it, frankly, because without them, we wouldn't be here talking.
Right. And yeah, I mean, absolutely. And, it even, I mean, it just really took on a life of its own. And with getting to revisit this, were you able to add, from my understanding, you originally had a 3-part, a trilogy in mind for Justice League. Were you able to insert some of those ideas into this Snyder Cut?
Not really. I mean, there is some hints, but more, I would say, on a sort of a teaser level to what would come. But this was a big bite anyway, what we wanted to do for this first Justice League film. So there was a lot to get done in the 4 hours, I felt like. So, and then that was really all we shot. So, though, yes, there was a plan for more, and that stuff is, if you're interested, there's a show in Dallas at AT&T headquarters where you can go and kind of take a look and sort of see the 2 other movie arc that we had planned. Though I'll say that that they don't really apply exactly to where we ended up. Excuse me. That was written prior to Justice League. So this would be where we go from here. If I was, which, there's really very little chance I would ever make another movie, but with the DCU. But if for whatever reason that happened, it would be a lot of the same elements, but it's probably a different storyline.
Okay, and I'm trying to stay as spoiler free as possible, but there is there was a rumor going around, and that had to do with if you had done this trilogy, Batman would have died. Is that a crazy Twitter rumor?
No, it's not a crazy. No, for sure. It was our goal to, eventually Batman would sacrifice himself for humanity. That was our hope.
Wow. Okay. That's
again, not to, that's a little bit spoilery, but it's all in the telling, as they say.
Right. Absolutely. For me, Cyborg is really the heart of this cut, the Snyder Cut.
Absolutely.
And I love how all of the character moments that are fleshed out are, for me as a viewer and a fan, vital to the story I think you were originally trying to tell, which you now get to do. But particularly Cyborg, I mean, we literally see his journey, this incredible life-altering journey. Is that what you had in mind? Is that what you wanted?
Yeah, absolutely. I from the beginning, I wanted to design this sequence of where we see his not only his powers, but like what he's capable of, and sort of and intertwine that with his relationship with his father, who's a scientist, and wanting to figure out how to love his son, because he's a little bit of a, he has his own issues with work and what he's trying to do, and and not remembering he's kind of, to spend enough time with his son, issue that everyone has sometimes, and then just then this series of events that cause them to be estranged slightly, and then how he, when finding his power, finding his Justice League family, and then reconnecting with his father, all of that in this kind of crazy space opera that is Justice League.
I love it. And Ezra, I heard that you directed Ezra, since he's filming Fantastic Beasts 3. Yeah. You directed Ezra through Zoom?
Yeah, we had to do it over Zoom because he's in England and I couldn't travel. And so we just did it over the Zoom. I only needed a couple of shots from him. But yeah, it was pretty crazy. Was
that new for you? I mean, you've done a lot.
I've done a lot. I've never done that. Okay. And I did Diane Lane that the same way for her little, when she comes out and becomes, does her Martian Manhunter.
Mm-hmm.
And, like that shot where she comes out the door and like looks around. That shot we didn't have, so I had to get that.
Wow, it's kind of funny just to think, superstar director, writer, producer Zack Snyder directing through Zoom,
It was weird. And like they had me on an iPad, on a stand, so Diane could like come over and talk to me. It was really weird. It was weird.
That's cool though.
Yeah, it was cool.
And
it'd be cool if we could put it on like a small car so I could drive it around like a set.
Right. Like a remote control iPad, yeah. Zach.
Yeah. Like see those in hospitals,
Right. So originally, not originally, but the second go round with the plan, from my understanding, was that it was going to be miniseries style, at least for the viewer.
This movie. Yeah.
Correct. And then obviously as we watch it now, it is broken into chapters. What made the determination to go from miniseries style, where it's, an episode a week or whatever, or a chapter a week, to here's the whole thing?
Yeah, it happened through frankly, it was the lawyers were like, we're not sure whether this is legal to take a movie and turn it into a series and all these things. And we were like, look, we're breaking ground trying to just what we're doing, just creating this movie. I don't want to become like a legal precedent for another thing.
Right.
So let's just do it as it was designed, as a movie, as a big movie. It was always chaptered. That part of it was just part of the way I had envisioned the movie, with these kind of episodic breaks to kind of, we have such a big story to tell. And frankly, there's all these members of the Justice League. So I really felt like having the different chapters lit, you kind of get a little bit of a cleanse before you went into whatever the next section of the movie might be. And I think it works works nicely for this particular film.
Absolutely. And I kind of, as I was watching it, I kind of thought it reminded me similarities to a comic book. Here's issue 1, here's issue 2, in like a limited series sort of thing.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great way to think about it.
And the black and white version, is that a thing?
It is absolutely a thing. There is a black and white version called the Justice is Gray edition of Justice League. I think it's coming to HBO Max in a little bit. And there's an IMAX version of it that I plan to use for, fundraising for AFSP. And, when COVID kind of cools down a little bit more and we can get back into theater, I'd love to get a big IMAX theater and put it up and say, and have all the ticket sales go to, to AFSP.
That's awesome. And, I'll be there day one. Did and I have to ask from a technical point because I don't know, when you're doing another version, so we have the Snydercut and then you're doing the Justice is Gray edition, do you have to watch it you have to watch them both multiple times to make sure it's the right?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. And you just watch it and watch it and you watch it and watch it and watch it. Yeah. So
And-
I've watched it, yeah, hundreds of times.
And just for like the color, just for the
For the coloring is a huge process, where, for me, and coloring the movie is such a big part of it, where I'm literally every shot, we're putting, a small, like I'll put a small vignette over here, and then I'll lighten that corner.
wow.
And put some contrast in there. And it's every shot gets a loving, caress.
Wow.
Like, oh, those reds are a little hot. Let's turn those reds down. Let's, so it's a really big, and then even with the black and white, it's like more contrast, more vignette, whatever, it's like we had to go through the movie with an entirely different point of view, again, to color it into the black and white version.
Do you hope that your DCEU, the Snyderverse, if you will, lives on, or are you content with it ending now? Is there things that you hope to see that you have?
Hope. It's not really, it's not up to me. I took this opportunity that the fans made real for me. And I wanted to honor that commitment that they had to me, and honor my family and the work that all my friends had done, and complete this version of the movie. And I'm really proud of it. And I think that, because Warner's is, and DC Films is, they're by all means, they're in charge of their own world, and that's what they do. And, they famously said that to them, the theatrical cut of Justice League is canon. That's what they kind of jump off of. And, so my little micro universe is its own thing. And I'm pretty happy with that. I mean, I'll let the fans decide how they want to go forward.
I love it. Well, Zack, thank you so much. Again, just want to congratulate you on, this achievement. It really is an achievement in many different ways to make this happen. So thank you, from a fan, thank you for doing it and doing it right.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Zack. Such a talented guy. Zack is, and a great guy too. He really is a visionary filmmaker. Justice League, the direction in Justice League is just absolutely incredible. Of course, 300 is one of my favorite movies of all time. The Watchmen. I mean, he is just, and his Dawn of the Dead from back when I don't know if I was in grade school, but it scared the hell out of me. Still does today. In any event, Zack Snyder's Justice League is out right now on HBO Max, and we'll have more information once it hits IMAX theaters for a tour, probably in the fall, somewhere around there. I will see you all next week. We got exciting stuff coming up for you. See you then.
You're listening to Pop Culture Weekly with Kyle McMahon, presented by 92.9 Tom FM, an iHeart radio station.
Her name is Martha.